New Landings Job Chat is brought to you in part by the Prosperity Advisory Group, the next step in your financial future, and by the EBS Group with an unparalleled background in Oracle solutions and services.
You have shopping list, you have book list, you have laundry list. But how about a list for a happier and healthier life? Today's Job Chat, we're going to find out what are the items on that list. I am Hector Silva. My co-host is Don Apple.
Hector, this list contains some pretty surprising keys, and I think it will help all of us in our pursuit of wellness.
Our guest today is Lucy DelSarto.
Lucy is the youngest of 10 children raised in Decatur, Illinois. And from that childhood, it isn't surprising that she learned how to be a team player and a good sport. In 1999, Lucy created the Take Care of You, or TCOY Wellness program. Now, this unique and highly successful wellness program empowers individuals to take personal responsibility for their health by developing a wellness mindset and lifestyle.
Welcome, Lucy.
Welcome, gentlemen.
We all want to be happier and healthier. What are the top 10 ways or top 10 items that we would have to put on our list to be happier and healthier?
Well, there's 10 that I'm going to go over today, but obviously there's a lot of things. It's like a puzzle. There's many pieces to that. So what I want to emphasize is the top 10 are all free that we're going to go over today. Can you handle that?
Yes.
Good price.
Good price.
And it's something that I think has gotten off course a little bit, so I hope you will write these down and embrace them. Would you like me to go through them individually and just talk about them?
I wish, yes.
Okay. The first one, which I think everybody would benefit greatly from, is laughter. In this world, we're so stressed out.
And this is one of them that surprised me a great deal. I thought, how simple. Laughter. Laugh more.
Yep.
Why?
Isn't it true? Well, it clears your mind. You can't be angry and laughing at the same time.
True.
Yeah.
Okay? And just to add to that, excuse me, humor and laughter are different. Humor is subjective. What you find humorous, I might not.
True.
All right? So with the laughter, I will start all my programs out with humor, and commercials are the same way. They use humor and laughter to get you to pay attention to what they're selling, because it clears your mind of stuff, and then you'll go, oh yeah, I remember that. So laughter is key to every single day, and just find the humor in the littlest things. I mean, actually wake up and just sometimes if you stumble or something like that, go, wow, that was real graceful of me, wasn't it? And just laugh at little things instead of like, oh, I'm getting so old. Look at this. It's just a perspective of how you look at things. So start laughing at more things. Two things that I find I laugh at a lot would be children, babies especially, or toddlers. So, I mean, don't you just love their pure laughter?
Yes.
We were in the store yesterday. I had to bring this up.
Yeah.
And a little girl in the cart had a sucker, and she looked up at me and wanted me to share it with her.
Isn't it great?
It broke me up. I thought that was just...
I totally agree with what you're saying, because when I'm in the car, I used to listen to sports and politics, and I would get frustrated. Then all of a sudden a new station came along, which is all comedy.
Right.
24 hours a day. Mm-hmm. And it's become my favorite station because when I get out of the car, I have such a much better attitude, and I feel so much better just laughing in the car than listening to the frustrations of the world.
Right, mentally and physically, because you've actually worked. Oh, and the belly laugh. When, some people, I go, remember the last time you really had a good belly laugh? And I'm like, oh yeah, that was this weekend. And they're like, oh my gosh, it's been like ages for me. And it's a workout. When you start laughing that you cry, it's pretty priceless. So
what's next on the list?
I got to go back to the laughter thing real quick and just say, and animals. Watch animals. Animals are pure, same thing.
Yeah, definitely.
So look at those
Definitely.
Second thing on the list, I believe strongly in prayer and meditating, because if you're in the peace of the moment and just grateful for what you have, that brings the whole purpose of life into perspective. Because we're just getting caught up in so many different things going on in our life, and I'm not here where I should be at 50. I should have accomplished this much, and now here I am unemployed, or this. Be grateful for what we have. People in third world countries have less money, but they're the happiest people in the world probably because they're just in the moment.
So find a quiet time for yourself.
Absolutely, just to meditate and just be in that moment. And we don't do that. I mean, the baby at 10, my dad, the library, so to speak, the restroom, was always his meditation. Oh, no kids, this is great. So find moments for yourself and be thankful for them because we are so blessed in this world.
Yes.
All right? Following right into that would be a gratitude. That is another section I do in my classes, and that would be as simple as going in and looking at other people that are in challenging situations and thinking, wow, look at all the things that they're up against every single day. Maybe somebody with physical issues or, mental issues that people think special needs children or people are so challenging. They are in a wonderful state because they're happy with where they're at. They're not to say they wouldn't want to be healthy, but they appreciate the smallest little things. Yeah. So gratitude of watching people accomplish things.
And there's so much we take for granted. We're with our families every day, our friends, and we never stop to think about what they bring to our life.
Exactly.
So I can see where it's better to do that every day than waiting for Thanksgiving and
that's right.
thinking about it then.
Yeah, if you love somebody, tell them. That's so simple to do. It's so simple to do. It's so easy to overlook. So I'm a hugger. Find people to hug and smile and be grateful.
And don't put it off. Don't neglect it.
Don't neglect it. Absolutely. Okay, following right into the next one would be breathe. Breathing techniques, okay? That sounds so simple, doesn't it?
Breathing is good.
It's better than the alternative, isn't it?
And definitely.
Now, for a really funny thing, if you want to go into YouTube and type in breathing commercial, and it's a spoof on the pharmaceuticals, how they always have commercials of, do you have trouble with this or this and this? And he says, you might want to breathe. And it's hilarious. So you're getting that laughter in there too that day, okay? But techniques with breathing, something you want to do is you want to breathe through your nose and exhale through your nose. It warms the air and it gets in and it's more of a cleansing, purifying. Now here's the trick is try to count how many breaths you would take in 1 minute. All right, that's a challenge for somebody. And you will find that a lot of us are taking short breaths really quick. Well, it's not getting oxygen in your brain and it affects you physically as well as psychologically. So try to work on taking in your breaths up to 5 seconds. You might be like, you take it in and it's like 2 seconds in and 3 seconds out and you're doing these short in and out. You want to try to get to the point ultimately where it's a good 5 seconds in through your nose and exhaling 5 seconds out. And that's going to seem really hard.
It seems like such a long time, 5 seconds.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, but
and when you're anxious.
I could see where that would relax you.
Absolutely. It's when you're depressed, it's the long, the exhale is really long, okay? And if you're angry, it's in and out real quick. But when you just work on that breathing technique, it's phenomenal. And I do have like a chart, which if somebody wants to contact me after, I will send them the breathing technique. But so simple. I mean, breathing,
Talk about taking something for granted.
Seriously. And it really does set the pace. When I'm coaching on the racquetball court, when you get ready and you're in an intense moment, the final tiebreaker, and you're thinking, I tell people take an inhale and exhale. It's as important in sports as it is in life. I mean, the edge, it's the Tiger Woods. He is so mentally strong. Well, I'm guaranteeing you he's probably done some yoga or some techniques with breathing, visualization type situation.
And we had talked to others, Hector, on occasion, overcoming nervousness by deep breathing prior to, a presentation or an interview. Yeah. So same thing applies.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Middle state. Next one would be exercise or movement. I tend to say movement versus exercise. Even though I love exercising, that might be a real negative connotation for some people. They remember in high school or grade school they never got picked for the team, and exercising made me sweat. So movement, just move. That is number one thing to keep you active in a healthier, longer lifestyle is just moving. Whatever it is, it can be very simple, but you have to do it.
So moving from the recliner to the refrigerator back and forth doesn't count?
Yeah. Remember the remote controls before those? I mean, the fact that we used to have to get up and change the channel?
Yes.
All right. And then how many times do you take the stairs? I mean, we have the elevators and escalators. And you feel like such a winner when you find a parking spot that's up close. But truly, the winner would be the person who can actually park far away, because long term, they're actually benefiting their health. So it's that mindset, that champion mindset coming back around. But don't think of movement as being a negative. Think of it as being a long-term positive for your body.
And you're not talking about, okay, now I have to get a gym membership so I can exercise.
Yeah.
Again, too big of a goal, too large of a...
Well, if it works I have to go to a club for the racquetball court, but you know what? I'm walking by those steps every day, and I might do some stretching, or, if you're somebody who really needs a little bit more cardio and you don't have a machine at home, which a lot of people don't, guess what? On those commercials, you go up and down those steps, just walking up and down those steps 10 times. Boom.
Or in bad weather, walking in the mall.
Yeah, exactly.
It's free again.
It is. It's just starting to see things in a different light of, wow, okay, I'm sitting down, what could I do? And I will have those stretching TheraBands all over the place. I have one so that if I'm watching TV and people love, they go, do you ever rest? I'm like, why not?
So stretching is part of the movement, or is that something that
It's
you have to do?
It's going to be another segment that I work on, but I'm just saying, just find something to do. If you're watching TV or a football game or whatever, maybe have some, if you don't have free weights, you don't have to buy the free weights. You could go to the pantry and find a couple cans of something, and you could just be working up and down, stretching back and forth. It's in your house. It's just, or just even doing that. If you didn't have steps, you're on a flat ranch, have a box board when you could step on, you go up and down, up and down, up and down. It's just one. You don't have to go up a flight of steps, but you're just constantly moving.
And then you can charge yourself the fee for the...
That's right.
Good point.
New Landings Job Chat will be back right after a word from our sponsors.
Hello, my name is William Easley, Managing Director of Wealth Management with Prosperity Advisory Group. While under unemployment stress, there may be a temptation to become more conservative with your investment allocation. Recognizing how short-term problems can adversely influence your thinking about long-term goals can help you avoid costly mistakes. It's reasonable to expect that you may need cash and more liquid assets at your disposal as you assess your financial situation over a job loss. However, you must avoid selling long-term investments as a panic response to uncertainty. You may trigger an unwanted tax or generate an ill-timed loss. Conversely, being unemployed isn't the time to take a flyer on a hot stock tip, ratcheting up your risk level in hopes of a quick profit to make up for lost income. You may do nothing more than compound your cash flow problem. A reasoned and balanced approach is recommended. Start by seeking out a qualified financial planner, such as a CFP professional, who can help you assess your unemployment situation, suggest strategies for conserving wealth, and perhaps help you with ideas on how to best protect assets. It's important to sort out alternatives while structuring a plan around your short-term objectives and your long-term goals. Again, I'm William Easley with Prosperity Advisory Group, the next step in your financial future.
All right.
Just the stretching that you were talking about, you said
Yes.
that's a separate key also?
I do. I consider stretching a separate. What I would recommend, and here's my TCOY challenge. I have these TCOY challenges, is learn to wake up to music in the morning for a number of reasons. Number one, it's a lot more positive than waking up to your alarm
Very
clock,
true.
right?
Very true.
Who wants to wake up alarmed, right? All right, so wake up to music, which sets the pace, and if you can get used to just stretching to one song every morning, and I personally listen to Caleb because it's nice, relaxing, it's inspiring, and one song is typically 3 to 4 minutes long. Some might be just under that, but some might be a little over it. But if you're doing one song a day, that will end up being 24 hours that year that you've stretched. Sounds very insignificant when you think one song.
And describe the stretching. What, please?
Okay, that could be...
Is it accompanied with a yawn? I guess
Well, think of the animals. The first thing they do when they get up is they stretch, right?
that's true.
The cat, the dog, whatever. All right, so if you have, your back bothers you, you'll do a different stretch, probably more so than somebody whose legs might be tight, or their arms, they might have shoulder problems. So it depends on the person. I do have a flyer that of just very simple stretching exercises, which I can give to people if they want to contact me.
Okay.
But It could be, I know wintertime right now in the Midwest, you could be in your bed and do these stretching exercises. Just take your leg and cross it over your body and then to twist the upper torso the other direction. And that's good for your lower back. You can't do that on radio. You can't see what I'm doing, can you? Okay, but you're stretching.
Yes and no.
Or you could take your arm and just put it across your body and stretch it, and that pulls your arm over your back, different things. So just in bed, you're nice and warm. You don't even have to get out of bed. And then if you're really inspired, do another song when you get out of bed, and you can do some lunges. All right, just the stretching of just letting your body slowly adapt to getting up in the morning. It's similar to a shoelace with lots of knots in it. Well, every time you stretch, you loosen that knot a little bit. And again, 24 hours in a year, you've just loosened those knots and maybe taken a couple of them out.
And then that'll help you with your movement.
Absolutely. Your flexibility, your movement, everything.
So it's a good start to the day.
To me, it's the only start for the day. I do it every day, and it's become part of my lifestyle. You miss it. You will learn to miss it if you don't do it. So.
We're talking about doing this as you wake up. Sleep is another thing that you speak about.
Absolutely.
So before the stretching comes the sleep.
Yeah. Well, and I think some people like to stretch before they go to bed, too, and you can always do that. I just think waking up, it's a nice thing. All right? So you can always do it before you go to bed. It can be a wind down.
Right. It doesn't have to be a certain time every day.
Exactly.
As long as it's every day.
Right.
Stretching can relax you to get to sleep?
Yeah.
Is it a sleep aid?
It depends. See, now, for me, working out late is great because I'm now used all that energy and I'll relax better. And in most sleep books, they will kind of gear you toward that. But some people, it's first thing in the morning, I got to get going, and that works for them. So if working out kept you awake, obviously you wouldn't want to be. So just learn what works for your body.
So it's individual.
It is. It's a personal journey. So the sleep is something I have found that so many people are burning the candle at both ends, and they're not getting the rest they need. And the body will eventually catch up to you if you're not giving it what it needs. And the sleep deprivation can cause so many things. Your mental clarity goes by the wayside, so to speak. You're more apt for accidents because whether it's on the job or in the car or whatever, you're just not thinking as clearly, and so things happen. When you get that rest, that REM, that good restful time, your body is ready to take charge and give you all it has. But we keep pulling away from it. And, I only need 4 hours sleep. I'll be fine. And 6 hours sleep. Well, you know what? You do that over a number of years, and it catches up. Mm. And I always emphasize to people, you don't catch a cold. The cold catches you. When your immune system is weakened and you haven't taken care of yourself, it will catch up to you. And usually, if you've had a big project, you've pushed yourself, you've burned more hours, and then after the project's done, what happens? You get sick. Mm-hmm. All right, so if you're keeping up with that rest, just listen to your body. Just if you're really tired, you probably need some more rest, and you better find a way to take care of it, because if you don't, your body will tell you.
And how about the environments to help you go to sleep?
Very good point. Yeah, I don't recommend going to sleep to TV. I think that the whole electronical era that we have has caused us a lot of sleepless nights, just seeing that on all the time. People might laugh at that, but I don't believe that you need to have that nighttime newscast to get you all fired up and then not be able to sleep because you're thinking how bad the world is. All right, so reading, I think it's very good, just peaceful, that going back, just taking some of those times where you breathe and just relax, being thankful, do a great gratitude journal, but just get away from all electronical stuff.
Mm-hmm. And even when you're reading, you don't want a bright light.
Mm-mm. Right.
It would have to be a reading type light.
Exactly. Yeah. Nothing's worse than being in a completely lit up room and, okay, I'm going to relax now. It's like, it's not going to work.
Now, water is another thing that you talk about, and is that part of the nutritional program, or just that the body needs it?
Well, I think it's both. I think if you look at a plant, how long is it going to go without getting watered? All right? And so your body is over 60%, 70%, just depends on who you're asking. But it's a large percent of water, and you get very dehydrated just by taking in all the drinks that we're taking in. Okay, sodas is not water. Tea is not water. Coffee is not water. You need water to be water in your body.
Pure water.
Pure water, straight water. You don't wash your clothes in Gatorade or cola, but yet we're putting all this in, it's going to work through, and constipation is a big factor in health today, and it's probably largely because people are dehydrated. They're not getting the water in to work the whole system.
What's your take on the bottled water and the enhanced waters and
The flavored water.
flavored waters? That's what I was trying to think of.
That's a whole nother time frame. But here's what I will say is water, any water is better than no water. All right?
Okay.
So if you're giving tap water, you're doing flavor enhanced, it's fine. I do not think there's a big value to the flavored waters. I think it's the way people have gotten their taste buds acquired to salt and sweet. I do straight water. I do a pH water that I would love to give more people information again if they want to contact me about that, because your pH in your body should be at a certain level, and when it's lower, all the acidic foods and stuff that we're eating, that's causing health issues like acid reflux, and it's aggravating all of the health system. So any water is better than no water, put that out there. But with bottled water, I just cringe a little bit because I think of how it's building up our environment with plastic bottles, and so I go off on that tangent. But
And I think the number of glasses of water, the minimum daily requirement, has there not been quite a controversy over that as of late?
Well, I'm going to give you a very simple way to know if you're hydrated.
Okay.
Couple quick points. Number one is, you probably cringe at this, but okay, people will think, okay, how many glasses of water do I need? Well, it depends on the person, how much they're sweating, their weight, and all these other things. Okay, the color of your urine. That's the simplest way to do it. If you're going in and it's very strong yellow and there's a smell to it, you're dehydrated. It should be like straw, clear, as much as possible. That's the easiest way for anybody to tell, because what you drink and I drink might be totally different. All right, so that's the easiest way. We're going to go to the restroom every day, so that's a way you can test for yourself. Another way is if you're thirsty, you're already dehydrated. All right. A third way would be the color of your tongue. If it's white, it has more of a white tint to it, that's dehydration. People would never think of that. Stick out your tongue. Well, the doctor's doing that for a reason. That was it, to see if you were dehydrated.
Finally, I know why.
There you go. It's like,
Okay.
So, anyhow, so that's the water situation. Love to tell you more about that, too.
Along with the water, I guess, is the eating portion, and you talk about eating fresh. Fresh what?
Well, the preservatives they're putting in the food is not for us. It's to get it to have a longer shelf life. So the processed foods are really taking an impact on our health. So fresh is, when you go to the grocery store, the outer limits is where you want to stay, the perimeter of the store, instead of going in where everything's boxed and everything. Frozen would be your next choice, and then canned. So fresh would simply be more fruits and nuts, and obviously more natural type setting. But just think the outer perimeter of the grocery store is where your best foods will be for you to be healthy.
And we want to get to self-talk as well.
Right.
This is another one of the keys that I found very interesting. Self-talk.
Yeah. Well, we're talking. We have 60,000 thoughts in our head every day. I don't know who counted those, but
It wasn't me.
but they're going through our mind every day, and it's really interesting what somebody might have said to you as a child stays in there because you're feeding it, you're fueling it.
Oh.
It's like, oh, well, you were never really good in math, so you'll probably not do very well in that. And so then you get to the point in your life I don't want to do anything that has to do with numbers. You pass that all off. Well, you can do that same thing in health. Choose to embrace what you can change, not what you can't change. Okay, genetics. Okay, maybe you have some genetic background for health disease, whatnot, but that's less than 10%. It's really 8%. So 90% of what you do with your health is your lifestyle. So let's start the self-talk of just, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this for me. Positive affirmations. Self-talk is a good thing. People think it's bad. I'm talking to myself, but you know what? I have a good conversation,
So that falls back into the wellness mindset that we were talking about in the previous show.
It's a champion mindset. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, we thank you for going through these with us, and we know that there's more than just these. You talked also about exercises that you have and some information about water. Where could people reach you to get this information?
They can reach me via email at Lucy, Lucy, at TCOYWellness.com. You can find me on LinkedIn under my name. I also have a Facebook fan page, which is under TCOY Wellness, or on Twitter. One movie recommendation, I feel like people need to have good movies in their life. One I'm going to put out there, maybe you guys have seen it, The Ultimate Gift. Have either of you seen it?
I have not seen
Okay,
that.
put it on your list, your
Ultimate
Netflix or whatever.
Gift.
The Ultimate Gift. James Gardner is in it, and you can YouTube it and see a clip of it, but it will show you 7 gifts that he feels are very important for life.
Okay, well, very good.
Thank you.
And of course, we want to remind you that all of our job chats are available to you on our website, and that's newlandingsjobchat.org.
And as always, until we meet again, may your days be full of health, happiness, and success.